Hey guys, happy Tuesday, right? Streaming from Facebook and Instagram, so forgive me if I'm not looking at one of the cameras. I was listening to some music here while I'm waiting for people to hop on. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not, but it's like one of the theme songs to Karate Kid. We were just watching that movie and I was like, I love this song. It's getting me all pumped up. So I turned it on for a minute. So we'll give it just a minute for people to join. I'm excited about this class tonight. I know you guys are going to leave with some solutions to your problems. And before we get started, if you're on live and you want to be entered into the drawing that I'm doing, I'll tell you what I'm giving away in just a few minutes. Then all you have to do is say hi, comment, let me know you're here. Let me know you're live with me. All right, I'm going to shut my music down now. And then we'll get started. If you already use some essential oils, hey Jenny, and you have some with you, just take your favorite, if you got some right close by, take your favorite essential oil blend, if it's near you, and put a little drop in your hand. I'm going to use Balance. I'm going to start with some Balance. This is an amazing, hey Rachel, an amazing blend. It's great for just grounding. Hey Tiffany, I like to just put a little drop in my hand, rub it together, and just take a big deep breath in and then put it right on the back of my neck. This is the way I like to start my day, even though it's not starting my day right now. It feels good to start the class like that. All right, so tonight's class, let's just dive right in. Feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions. Just post in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how I got started using oils. It was really by just by chance. I was actually having some stomach issues, which I've had for a while, and my sister happened to have just been introduced to essential oils. She was at my house. She shared, which is now one of my favorite blends, called Digestin. This is what it looks like, with me. And she said, here, put this on your stomach and see if it works. Like, neither one of us really knew anything about oils at that time. This was almost 6 years ago now. Actually, March will be 6 years ago. And so I put it on my stomach. I was super skeptical. I was like, I don't know how this works. This seems kind of crazy. But I did it, and the discomfort went away. But I, at that time, was maybe even like you are now. I was super skeptical still. I was like, yeah, maybe it was just in my head. But I looked into the product and into the company, which is doTERRA. In case you're just joining and you don't even know what I'm talking about, we're talking about doTERRA essential oils. And I thought, you know, this is all pure. It's all natural. There's no synthetics. It's a great company, a great product. Why would I not try this? It works with my body and helps my body to come into balance, to heal itself. So why wouldn't I try it? So I got a kit, which I'll talk more about at the end. And the rest is kind of history. I just started using these oils for any and everything and found so much relief from symptoms and different things that I was having. And it's just now a part of my daily life. At first, I will say it seemed super overwhelming. So if it's something that you're just beginning to learn about, it's normal to feel a little bit overwhelmed and not know where to start. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help guide you. So let's just jump right into what the topic is tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can incorporate these oils into not just your life, but your family's life, and how it can become part of a lifestyle for you and your family if you're looking for a little bit more of a natural approach just to wellness in general. So first, before we get started, if you are on, if you're just, I see more people are jumping on. If you are on and you're live, then say hello, say hi, say, let me know you're here. And I'm going to give away a free peppermint oil and this awesome little book that tells you can look up symptoms and all kind of different remedies to use oils for. So I'll get that sent out to the winner. But let me know, just to be entered, let me know that you're live here with me. All right. So why do oils cost so much, you guys? I mean, this is like a common question that I get. Why do these oils, why can I go down to, Walmart and buy a $5 bottle of lavender, but when I go and try to get some doTERRA essential oils, lavender is $20? What's the difference? What's the difference, right? Well, the fact is that about 70% of essential oils on the market are adulterated. What that means is they're tampered with. They're not a pure product. And so those are obviously going to cost much less. You know, it's kind of like the saying goes, you get what you pay for sometimes, right? But what we know about doTERRA is they are sourcing and testing is super important to them. So all of their oils are sourced from where they natively grow, which increases the benefit, the therapeutic benefit that they have. And then they're tested. They're put through 7 different tests. And doTERRA is very transparent about their testing. So they are able to show us the testing on every single bottle of oil. So you know exactly what you're getting because there's no governing body that says, what has to be in these bottles, right? When we go and buy stuff over the counter, it's kind of like supplements. You have to know the company very well and trust the company to, know and feel good about the fact that you're getting a really high quality product. So that's kind of the difference. And then the second thing that often people will say to me is, well, I tried those oils that I bought at Walmart and they didn't they didn't help with the problem that I had. And that's the whole reason they don't help is because they're full of synthetics. So again, if you want to get good results, you have to have a really high quality, good product to use. And if you're wanting to use something natural, you really want it to be, something that is free of chemicals and toxins, right? Because we're trying to take a more natural approach. Okay, so now why would I choose these? The next question that I get a lot is, why would I choose these over pharmaceuticals? Like, what's wrong with just pharmaceuticals? And there's actually nothing wrong with, the traditional medical approach. That's what my whole career has pretty much been based on. So it's not that I don't believe in, traditional pharmaceuticals. I believe that there's a time and a place for that 100%. But I also believe that if we can reach for something natural that works with our body, that helps bring our body into balance and helps it heal itself, then that's the way to go because we're not going to experience side effects and these are highly effective. So we're going to get the actual results that we want. So I believe that that's truly the way to go. All right. So having said all that, let's dive right into how do we actually use these oils, okay? There's 3 different ways that we can use essential oils. The first one is aromatically. It's what I just showed you at the beginning when we started. I put a drop in my hand of Balance and rubbed it together and then inhale deeply. So when we use essential oils aromatically, they actually affect our brain in like seconds. They get into our limbic system and our brain and can affect our emotions really, really quickly. So that's one of the best ways to use them. If you're feeling kind of down, you can use an uplifting oil. Or if you're feeling anxious and stressed, then you can use an oil like Balance that I used a minute ago that helps to really calm and ground your emotions. So breathing them in either from the bottle in your hand, or I'm going to show you guys this. I actually had put some Balance in my diffuser here in my office, but this is what a diffuser looks like. If you have not seen one of these before, kind of think of it like a humidifier. You just put a little bit of water in it, a couple of drops of your essential oil of choice, and turn it on. And I love to use this, especially at night, because it really, on the bedside table, helps you put something calming, which I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, something calming in there, and you just get the best night's sleep ever. So those are kind of the reasons that we use oils aromatically, and they also cleanse the air. So we're ridding germs of the air, decreasing the chance that we're going to get sick. So those are the reasons we use them aromatically. Now, the next way, the second way, is topically. We put the oils on our skin, right? Now, when we use them topically, we want to make sure that we are diluting our oils with a carrier oil. So these essential oils are super potent. You only need 1 to 3 drops per application to really see, benefits. It's not like what you think in America. Like in America, we think like more is better, kind of like supersized everything, bigger, better, right? That's not the case. And that's why these oils really last a very long time, is because you're only using 1 to 3 drops at a time. But diluting them with a carrier oil, this is a fractionated coconut oil. That's my favorite thing to dilute with. It doesn't leave behind like a greasy, residue or anything like that. It absorbs into the skin really easily. But doing that helps you to get a better absorption through the skin. So if I were going to use an oil topically, I would use it, let's say, if I had a specific area that was bothering me, like I told you about my stomach, and I put them right on my stomach. Or if you had like some shoulder pain, or maybe some head tension, or anything, any specific area on your body, you can apply the oils directly to that area, and it gets absorbed through the skin into the bloodstream and can really, affect that area in a positive way. Now, let's say you were putting the oils on a child and you wanted kind of more of an overall systemic or overall body absorption. The best place to put the oils is on the bottom of the feet. So if we I would take, for instance, 1 drop of my essential oil that I was using and 1 or 2 drops of my carrier oil, and then rub my hands together and put it right on the bottom of the feet. There are tons of pores on the bottom of your feet, and the oils get absorbed really, really quickly that way. So that's we kind of consider that the default area. If you don't know where to put them, just put them on the bottom of your feet, because you can't go wrong there. Now, the third and final way, and I do want to say that this is specific to doTERRA, is that these oils can be ingested. You can take them internally. Now, I would never want anybody to go buy oils, over the counter and take them internally, because again, those most often have synthetics in them, and usually they'll say not for internal use. So you'll know that, you should not ingest them. But if you have a really high quality product, then you can ingest the oils. Now, not every single essential oil is made for ingestion. So the question is, how do I know which ones I can ingest and which ones I can't, right? So I'm going to show you. Let's take something like peppermint. And on the side of this peppermint bottle, there is a supplemental facts label, just like a food label. Oops, sorry. Hopefully you can see that. So you can ingest peppermint. It has the supplemental facts, like food label type thing, on the side of it. But then that balance that I put on a few minutes ago, this one's only for topical or aromatic use. And if you look at the side of it, it has, no supplemental facts label. Same thing here. Whoops, I keep getting my camera mixed. There we go. There's no supplemental facts on there. And that's the simple way to tell, can I ingest this oil or not? Yes, peppermint is amazing for, someone on Instagram said peppermint is good for indigestion or heartburn. Yes, it is awesome. Keep it in my purse too all the time. And that's another thing that I'm going to share, are the oils that I take with me all the time, because that's how you easily incorporate these, is just taking them on the go with you and just having them there where you can grab and use them. And that's how you really kind of adopt and develop this lifestyle. Okay, so why would you want to take them internally? That's the next question, right? I like to use them internally every single day for a daily detox. Now, your citrus oils, especially lemon essential oil, is amazing for breaking down those chemicals and toxins that we all have in our body from things that we're exposed to, in the environment, things that we eat, put into our body, and also things that we put on our skin. We build up toxins, right? So lemon helps to break down those toxins and helps our body to rid them through the kidneys and the liver. So here's what I'll do. I'll take my big water bottle. You want to make sure when you're drinking these oils out of a container that container is made of glass or of metal, like stainless. because what happens is, just like these oils can break down the toxins, they can break down the toxins in, or the chemicals in, plastic and styrofoam. And then you would be like drinking toxins, you know, so you don't want to do that. I actually did that before I learned, and there wasn't a lot of education out there when I started using these. I kind of just taught myself a lot of the ways to use them. And I remember I was drinking some water out of a styrofoam cup, and I put some lemon oil in it, and it ate through the styrofoam cup. So that was a good thing to learn not to do, okay? So then once I researched it, it was like, oh, okay, you're not supposed to drink these out of plastic or styrofoam. But drinking the citrus oils in your water every day gives you that daily detox, and it tastes great, so it helps you to drink more water, which we need to do anyway. Then the next way that I kind of like to reserve use of the oils internally for is if I feel like I'm coming down with something, if I'm getting sick. And I'm going to share in a few minutes the blend, because this is what everybody wants, is like to have natural antibiotics on hand, right? I mean, who wants to go, you know, have to go to a med stop or urgent care when they're sick, right? If you have stuff on hand that you can take that's effective, then that's the way to go. So I'll share that with you, and I'll show you how I do it in just a few minutes. But those are the three ways. So we've got aromatic, topical, and internal. All right, so now let's just dive right into what makes for an overall wellness-based lifestyle. You've got to have a healthy, strong foundation, right? That's number one. You've got to have a strong foundation. And what I like to always recommend to people, what I use, what my whole family uses, is doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. And let me just show you. I have a box, actually. I had it in my office, and it was on this sofa in here, and somebody sat on it. Anyway, this is what the box looks like, the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's a pack. It's a vitamin and nutrient pack, and it comes with these 3 different items. So just briefly, I'm going to tell you what's in here. First is your standard vitamin and mineral complex. It's got 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. So I don't know about you. I mean, I eat pretty healthy. I do not eat 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. That's like a lot to get in your body, right? And the more fruits and vegetables we have, the idea is they have more antioxidants. So this has tons of antioxidants that helps keep our cells really healthy. So the next thing that's in here are your healthy fats. You cannot have good brain health, heart health, joint health, skin, gut health, everything if you don't have healthy fats in your system, in your body every single day. So that's really important. And then third and final is this cellular complex. So this basically keeps your cells really healthy. When we have healthy cells, we're less likely to develop chronic and acute illnesses. So super important to have healthy cells. So this is kind of like the go-to foundation of health, is to make sure you're getting, high quality vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, all of that into your system every single day. Now they do also, doTERRA also does have an amazing kids line that has, if you have kids, chewable vitamins, and then also wild orange flavored omegas, so healthy fats for the kids too, which is really important. Now my kids are old enough that they take these adult vitamins. They just take just one of each a day, just a small dose. So we all take that that I just showed you. So that's number one. Number two is, for that kind of healthy foundation, is to make sure you're getting good bacteria into your system. Good bacteria, right? Probiotics. Every single person needs probiotics. We don't get enough in our food. And our food, the way that our food is sourced and harvested, the quality is just not as good as it used to be way back in the day, right? The soil quality is not as good. So I like to use doTERRA's PB Assist is what it's called. This is their probiotic. They also do make a kids version that's like a little, this stuff tastes like a pixie stick. I'm telling you, it tastes, it's so good. It's sweetened with a little bit of xylitol. So anyway, having a probiotic is so important because we want to outbalance that bad bacteria, with the good bacteria, right? This is going to build a healthy immune system. It's going to help prevent you from getting sick and just have that that good balance there. So super important to have a probiotic every day. Now, the next question is, how do I, other than the things that I've mentioned thus far, how do I keep myself well and prevent sickness? I mean, we're all going to come in contact with things all throughout the day that, if our immune system is not good and strong, we can get sick easily. So 2 essential oils I want to recommend here. These are kind of the foundation of building a healthy immune system. The first one is On Guard. On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend. This is a blend of oils that is, you can look at research on this blend of oils. It's amazing. It's actually, there's data showing that it kills MRSA, MRSA, methicillin-resistant staph. I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing. There are several hospitals throughout the country that diffuse this because it's so good at cleansing the air and ridding the air of germs and also boosting the immune systems. So I love to diffuse it. It smells great. The other thing that I love to use, and I use these 2 in combination, the other thing that I love to use is frankincense. So frankincense, most everybody, if you don't know anything about essential oils, you've heard of frankincense, right? At least from the Bible, you've probably heard of frankincense, So frankincense is what we consider the king of oils. It can be used for almost any and everything. Oh, Bree said it's diffusing in my office right now. Yes, oh my gosh. On Guard is amazing. So what I like to do is I like to take On Guard and frankincense together, and I'll put them on our feet at night before we go to bed because that builds our immune system. This is just a daily habit. You keep it right on the bedside table, and then you just put it right on the bottom of your feet before you go to bed, and it helps to build your immune system. Now, I make it super convenient for myself, and this is something that you can do so easily, is just take a roller bottle. You can just get these little empty roller bottles, and you put about 10 drops of each of those oils, On Guard and frankincense, together in a roller, and then you top the rest of that with the coconut oil, the carrier oil, and then it's super easy and convenient. You just roll it right on the bottom of your feet every night before you go to bed, and that boosts your immune system. It's that simple and that easy. You just keep it right on your bedside table. So that's my go-to oils for boosting the immune system. Now the next question is, well, what if I get sick, right? Because inevitably we're going to get sick no matter what, no matter how strong our immune system is. We're going to come in contact with something that, that's going to get us, and we're going to get sick. So my go-to blend for when we're sick, 5 different oils, which I get it, it sounds like a lot, but these are your basic oils that these actually all come bundled together. So I'll talk at the end about some kits that you can take advantage of, and these all come together. Tiffany said, I'm still shocked about the feet. Yes, we have tons of pores on the bottom of our feet, and so the oils get absorbed within seconds when we put them on the bottom of our feet. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And it reminds me of, I don't know if anybody remembers, I remember when I was little and I would get sick, my grandparents would put Vicks salve like on my chest and on the bottom of my feet, and then put socks on. And you would think, like, I get why you're putting it here when I'm congested, but why would you put it on the bottom of my feet, right? Clearly they were smart and they knew all along, right? But yeah, it's definitely effective that way. So back to, if we get sick, what are we going to do? We want to have these natural tools on hand. So when we get sick, we got to know, we don't want to be scrambling around like, what am I supposed to do? So the blend that I love to use is 5 oils. The first one is frankincense. Next is lemon. Oops. On Guard. So we've already talked about those. On Guard. Oregano. I have not mentioned oregano yet, but oregano is like supercharged natural antibiotic. Okay, oregano is amazing. And then the last one is Melaleuca, which is also known as tea tree oil. A lot of people have heard of that before. And Melaleuca is high in antiviral properties. So, you know, a lot of times when you come down with a virus, what happens? Especially if you take your kids in and the you know, whoever the medical provider they see is, they say, oh, it's a virus, it has to run its course, right? Because we don't have a lot of antivirals, you know, on the market that we take that are effective. So Melaleuca has antiviral properties. So these 5 oils, now the question is, how are you going to use them, right? You've got these 5 oils, you start to feel like you're coming down with something. There's 2 things you can do. One, I keep those 5 oils with coconut oil in a roller bottle, just like I showed you a minute ago. And if my kids start to seem like they're getting a little bit sick, we'll start putting it on the bottom of their feet. You can do it every 2 to 3 hours. And that's the thing about oils. Our body knows how to use them. So they work with the chemistry in our body so well that our body like uses them up pretty quickly. So you may have to use the essential oils a little bit more frequently than you would like a medication, because medications, we can build up toxic levels too, right? Which that's not going to happen with these essential oils. So you may have to use them a little bit more frequently. So you can use that blend right on the bottom of your feet, or this is the way that I like to do it if I feel like I'm coming down with something or if I do get sick. I like to take an empty veggie capsule. There's like 160 in here, and I think they cost $4. So like super cheap. This will last me forever because I don't have to, you know, use it that often, you know, because I don't get sick that often. So let me just show you, because I remember the first time somebody showed me or told me to make a veggie capsule. I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So this is what it looks like. It's just a little empty capsule. And all you do is you just pop open the capsule, and then you take your oils and you put the blend that I just showed you of the 5 oils. I would put 2 drops of each, 2 to 3 drops of each in this capsule. And then you just pop it back together and you've made your own capsule, and then you just take it. And I'll do that about every 3 hours or at least 3 times a day when I feel like I'm, you know, coming down with something, or if I do get sick. And literally, I don't think that I've ever had to do that for more than 3 days. It's usually 2 to 3 days. And what I notice is it just really it cuts back on the severity of whatever I've come in contact with, and it just knocks it out really quickly. And then I don't have to go and do anything. Yeah, natural pharmacy. Exactly. This is like your natural pharmacy, which I love. So this is like making over your medicine cabinet, really. Okay. And the nice thing is, for those of you with little kids, if you're worried about them ingesting something, you know, I was actually just reading the other day that 1 teaspoon of toothpaste can be toxic, like very toxic, and you should call poison control. Like if your kid got some toothpaste, you know, and squirted a teaspoon in their mouth, which is crazy. So lots of things in our home are, you know, very toxic and can be harmful to kids. That's the nice thing about these. These are safe and effective for the whole family. And they're, you know, they're not going to be harmed by if they got some on their hands and put it in their mouth or something like that. Okay, so let's move on to what about if you have seasonal symptoms like allergies? What can you use? There's an amazing combination that we use for that, for like those sneezing, you know, congestion, itchy eyes, watery nose, all of that kind of stuff. What can you use? It's very simple. It's just lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Did you guys know that lavender actually has antihistamine properties? So it's like a natural antihistamine. And that's what we take when we have allergy symptoms, right? We take antihistamines because that's a histamine response. When we're allergic to something, our body produces all of this histamine. That's like a normal response. Our body's trying to fight it off. And so we need antihistamines, and lavender actually has antihistamine properties. So that's great. And then the peppermint actually helps to constrict and dry up some of the congestion that you have. And then lemon helps with the mucus and, you know, like the runny nose and all of that. So it's like a perfect little trio. And you would do these this exact same way. You would either use them in a roller right on the bottom of the feet, or you could put them in that veggie capsule. Either way works perfectly. So that's kind of like your go-to for allergy symptoms. Okay, then one more thing about sickness, and we'll kind of move on. If you have cough, congestion, just maybe even if you've got some chronic lung problems and you had some difficulty breathing and you kind of feel like you need to just like really open up the airways, your go-to is going to be Breathe. This blend is amazing. This is a respiratory blend. And it smells a little bit like, kind of like Vicks Salve. It smells a little bit like minty sort of. It's got some eucalyptus in it. So think of kind of like a eucalyptus smell. But it's amazing to open up the airways. So it's my go-to. Any kind of congestion, what I'll do is I'll put a drop or two of Breathe in my palm. And then I'll take that carrier oil and put a couple of drops in my palm as well. Rub my hands together and then just rub it right on the chest. And if I'm doing this to my kids, I'll rub it also along the back of their chest, like along their lungs on the back of their chest. And again, it just helps to open up the airways. Hey, Sandra. If you guys are just hopping on, by the way, let me know that you're here. I mentioned earlier that I'm doing a giveaway for everyone that's on live. You'll be entered in if you're live and you comment. Let me know you're here. Yes. So Jenny, did you hear me say Breathe? Did you hear me talk about Breathe? If you're asking for other things over on Instagram, Jenny asked, what about something for cough? Other things that because I know you probably already have Breathe. If you could add, if you wanted to add to that, you could add ginger is great to add to that. I love to do that. Cardamom is another one that's great for the respiratory system. And sometimes I'll even add a little bit of extra eucalyptus, even though that's already in there. So those would be my other suggestions for cough and congestion. But back to the Breathe. This is a great blend to put in that diffuser at night, especially. Put it on the bedside table. Yes, Ashley said Breathe cough drops and On Guard cough drops are amazing as well. I agree 100%. They're so good. I love them. I have a whole thing of them sitting right here. They're awesome. So yeah, Breathe is going to be your go-to for that cough and congestion. Okay. Next, what about getting a good night's sleep? I mean, this is something that I think really a huge majority of people suffer with. They just don't get a good, deep, restful night's sleep. And that's going to affect so many things. First of all, we're not going to have that healthy immune system, right? We're going to be much more prone to, coming down with illness. We're not going to have energy. We're not going to want to exercise and do all the things, that we should be doing if we don't sleep well because we don't have the energy. So what can you do to sleep better? And I don't think that I brought my Serenity in here with me. Serenity is my go-to. I use it every single night in my diffuser. It's amazing. So Serenity is the restful blend, and it is it's a blend of lavender, cedarwood, vetiver, lots of kind of calming and relaxing oils in there. It smells amazing. It has a little bit of vanilla in it. So again, it smells just great. So I'll take my diffuser and I'll put 2 drops of Serenity in the diffuser. And then I also like to put it topically on my feet. And sometimes I'll even rub it on my neck just because it smells so amazing. And I, want to get even more of the aromatics of the Serenity. But that is kind of your go-to blend. And actually, you can get that one free for the rest of January. And I'll tell you about that. If you want to stick around until the end, I'll tell you how you can take advantage of that if that's something that you want to do. Okay, so next, what about pain? This is a big one. There's such a crisis right now with pain medications and so many people being addicted, and it's really actually providers are having a really hard time because they're being basically penalized for giving prescription pain medications. Sometimes it's 100% necessary, but people get addicted, right? So what if we could use something that was effective? Because I mean, let's be real. I'm not going to use anything if it doesn't work. I mean, period. It's kind of like food. I'm not going to eat something that I don't like just because it's good for me. I'm just not that way. I'm not going to use something that doesn't work just, because it's good for me or whatever. So it's got to be effective. It's got to work, right? So pain is one that I get a lot. People ask, not that I get pain a ton. People ask a lot, like, what can I use naturally for pain? So let's talk about the different, most common types of pain. So first, what about joint and muscle pain? That's a big one, right? Whether it's from you working out, or you have some kind of arthritis, or you have some kind of, back pain, some kind of disc issue, anything like that. Your first starting point is going to be Deep Blue. So Deep Blue is a blend of oils. It's not for ingesting. It's just for topical use. But Deep Blue, I want you to think of Deep Blue kind of like icy hot. Okay, it has that kind of cooling sensation when you apply it topically. You'll use your carrier oil, you'll dilute it. And what I like to do is I have had a lot of back problems in the past. So I like to put it on my back, not only if if it's bothering me, but I do it before I exercise, and then it keeps my muscles really loose, and then I don't get all stiff and hurting, and I can actually do more and be more active. I had gotten to a point like 4 or so years ago where I couldn't even exercise. So I was having a lot of back problems, and I was having so much pain. So Deep Blue has been like a lifesaver to me. So I use this one almost every single day because I exercise pretty much every single day. or at least I want to get some movement in my body because I know that I feel good when I do that. So if you have any kind of joint pain, any kind of muscle aches and pains, Deep Blue is your go-to. The other way that I love to use Deep Blue is in a bath. You get in an Epsom salt bath and you I usually add about 5 drops of Deep Blue because it's a lot of water, and about 5 drops of lavender. Oh my gosh, before bed, it's amazing. So you'll get your joints and all will just feel so relaxed. And then the lavender is, again, super calming and relaxing. So do it before you go to bed, and then put your Serenity on, in your diffuser and on your feet, and you'll sleep amazing every single time. So that would be my number one. Now, the other thing that I love to use for joint discomfort is frankincense. So frankincense is very high in anti-inflammatory properties. And that's one of the reasons that we use it in that blend that I told you of the 5 oils for when we get sick, is because when we're sick, we have tons of inflammation in our body, right? And so we want something that's going to decrease that inflammation. In fact, the least amount of inflammation we have in our body, the less prone we are to getting sick. So that's another reason we use that frankincense every day also. Okay, so if my kids, the way that I use frankincense for joint discomfort is I use it mainly on my kids. Like if they are playing sports and they've injured their wrist or their knee or whatever the case may be, frankincense, especially if there's a little bit of swelling, frankincense right on the area is super helpful. It really helps to decrease the swelling. Even after just a couple of applications, you can see a big difference. Now, I want to mention this next oil because there is so much out there right now on using CBD oil and, just lots of different stuff out there, right? Well, I want to introduce you, in case you have not met, Copaiba. Copaiba is similar to CBD, but there's no THC. So of course there's no, there's no psychogenic effects, and there's no like positive, if you took a drug test, nothing would show up. So Copaiba is amazing for pain. You can use Copaiba in a couple of different ways. You can use it topically directly on the area, or you can use it internally. And a lot of times if I'm having pain in a specific area, I'll just put 2 drops of Copaiba under my tongue. Under your tongue in that area, it's called the sublingual area, you have a lot of blood vessels. And so you get really good absorption really quickly if you just drop it under your tongue. And this Copaiba does not have a really strong taste. So it's not like it's like terrible. You just put a couple of drops under there, take some water, and you're good to go. So those are your kind of go-tos for just joint and muscle pain. Now, let's talk next about head tension, because that's one that I find a lot of people, I fortunately, thank the Lord, don't have a lot of head tension. I mean, I do occasionally, but a lot of people suffer with that like on a regular basis. So your go-to for that is going to be peppermint essential oil. Now, I mentioned peppermint already, but peppermint can be used for a lot of different things. But for head tension, what I like to do is I like to take my peppermint. I do keep some in a roller bottle, again, for ease and convenience of use. That's one that I keep in my purse with me all the time, because somebody's gonna, say their head hurts. So take it out and you'll just roll it right along the temples. I also like to roll it over my forehead. And a lot of times when we have head tension, it's coming from tension in our neck, right? So I'll even put a little bit on my neck, and you just kind of rub it and massage it in. And it has actually a cooling effect also. It feels amazing. You'll feel great doing that. And it just really helps to get rid of that tension. And it works within minutes or less. So that's your number one for head tension. Now, digestive issues. This is a big one, because even if you don't have chronic digestive issues, I guarantee every single person on here, pretty much every single person on the planet at one point or other has had a stomach ache, right? For whatever reason, you've had some discomfort in your stomach. Your go-to is this blend called DigestZen. Now DigestZen does come in a 15 milliliter bottle, just like this, like these others. But again, this is one that's in my purse at all times. Somebody says their stomach hurts, maybe they feel a little bit nauseated, cramping, anything, reflux, acid reflux, anything of that nature, you just take this out, roll it right on, put it right. I mean, you can even put it up on the chest if it's more of a kind of like an acid reflux type thing. And it helps so much. This, I mentioned, those of you who were not on at the beginning, this is what made me want to get these oils and use them, is that I tried this DigestZen and it worked. And even though I was still super skeptical then, I thought, well, what do I have to lose? These are all pure, all natural. So DigestZen is one that I keep all the time with us. I have it in multiple places in the house too. So, all right, let's move on. Stress and anxiety. I mean, literally just living in the world causes stress, right? I mean, there's so much that we are expected, or that we think that is expected of us, that we can really like stress ourselves out. And when we live in the future and we're constantly thinking about the future, that's when we get anxiety. We start thinking of all the things, I got to do this and that, and oh my gosh, what if this happens, and what if that happens? And then suddenly inside, we're just like churning like this, And so if we can have something to grab, like a tool to grab and use in those moments that is effective, is so helpful. So what do we want to use for that? Serenity, I mentioned, that's great for sleep and relaxation. It's amazing for stress. So Serenity for stress, and then I love to add balance to it. That blend that I mentioned earlier that I used actually when we first hopped on. So this is called the grounding blend. And balance is so amazing for just grounding your emotions. I actually like to use balance first thing in the morning because it just sets your day off right. You know, again, it just grounds your emotions. But if you do tend to be someone who has a lot of anxiety, what you can do is you can just take your balance, put a drop in your hand, take your Serenity, put another drop, so drop of balance and Serenity, and maybe a drop or two of your carrier oil, rub it together. It smells amazing. Breathe it in. Just take a big deep breath in and then rub it right on your neck. And that way you're getting kind of the topical benefit and also the aromatic benefit. That's your go-to for stress and anxiety. And I mentioned Copaiba a few minutes ago for pain. And I talked about putting it under my tongue. So Copaiba is actually very, very calming as well. So a lot of times, if I am feeling stressed out, or even before, if I'm giving a big talk somewhere and I have, you know, I'm nervous, before I go on stage to speak, I'll put 2 drops of Copaiba under my tongue, and it just really, you know, just kind of like mellows you out a little bit. So this is great for mamas. Like if you're in the moment and your kids are just kind of off the chain, then put a couple drops of Copaiba under your tongue, take a few deep breaths, and then go back and deal with the situation. All right, last but not least, let's talk about burns, cuts, scrapes, bites, bug bites, anything of that nature, anything skin related where there's kind of like an irritation issue. You're going to want to use lavender. You're going to want to have lavender on hand. We often call lavender the Swiss Army knife of essential oils because it's kind of like your first aid. Like it's what you want to use for any type of first aid stuff. I tend to use it mostly for burns. I'm cooking all the time in the kitchen. I burn myself, and I'm not kidding. You will see almost instantaneous results when you put lavender. Actually, my husband burned himself on something just recently on the fireplace or something. And he kept saying that his finger was burning. And I was like, get the lavender. And so he did. And then I never heard another word about it. So clearly it worked. So lavender is your go-to for any of that skin type stuff with irritation and burning. So those are really just the I know it was a lot of information, but if you break it down, it's pretty simple. And all of these areas, I think, are things that most of us have suffered with or struggled with at one point or other. And if you can have, again, that natural tool to grab and not have to go to the doctor or go to the pharmacy or put something harmful in your body, then that's the way to go, right? So now the question becomes, if you are not already using these oils, how do you get them? Okay. There's an amazing promotion going on right now. So I want to make sure that I mention that. And then if you're interested in that, then you can, you know, private message me and I'll send you all of the information. But basically, it's a wholesale membership. And this is just like a Sam's or a Costco membership. You're paying a wholesale price, which is $35, very minimal cost, to get 25% off of everything. So that's the cost, $35, you get 25% off of all products. Now, most people will start with a kit. I mentioned a kit when we first hopped on. Most people will start with a kit because you don't pay the $35 if you get an enrollment kit. And most all of these oils, the 10 basic oils that I talked about tonight, are in the most popular enrollment kits. So the most popular kit is called the Home Essentials Kit. And it comes with the diffuser that I showed you, this particular diffuser, which I love. This is what we use on all of our bedside tables. This is like my favorite diffuser. It shuts off automatically. It's amazing. And so it comes with the diffuser and the top 10 oils. Now, if you enroll today, you actually get a free frankincense, and frankincense retail is like $90-something. And you get a free Serenity, that amazing blend that's great for sleep, anxiety, stress. And then you also get a free red mandarin. Now, red mandarin is actually not even an oil that doTERRA sells all the time. Like, you can't even purchase it. It's only during special promotions that they'll actually have enough, to get, because they're so adamant about their sourcing. They're not going to, compromise and get red mandarin from an impure source or from one that does not have, high therapeutic benefits. And so, there's just not a ton of it. And so that's why we can only get it during special promotion months. So if you enroll today, you can, with a Home Essentials kit, you can get all 3 of those oils. If you still want some more information and you still are like, okay, well, I just need to know a little more, you still have until the end of January to get the Serenity and the red mandarin. You just won't get the frankincense. Today is the last day for the frankincense. So if that's something that you're interested in, just send me a message and I'll send you more information, answer all your questions. But here's the great thing about getting started with someone. And if you've been talking to someone else and they're helping you get started, then you should go back to that person because they want to help guide you. But if you're not, and I'm that person, then I would love to help guide you and get you started. I have an amazing educational group. We pour so much education into our group, into our members. This is how you learn little bits at a time as you go, because it's overwhelming at first, and you need someone to guide you, and you need a resource that you can go to. So you'll be able to join our educational group. It's only for our members. So that's a huge benefit to the membership. So let me know if you guys have questions. If you have any questions right now, you can post in the comments. If you were live and you have not said hello, you have not posted, please do, because I am going to choose a winner for a bottle of peppermint and a little usage guide for those that were on live. So let me know if you guys have any questions. And thank you guys for joining. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you gained some information from it. And if you happen to be watching the replay, then certainly comment or send me a message, and I'll be happy to help you. All right, guys. I hope y'all have a great rest of the night. Bye. Bye, Facebook. Have a great night.